Hello, my children. How are you doing? I'm fine. I don't know what I am today, but that's okay. We're here to talk about me and all of us, not just me. Me and every single one of the people on earth right now and in the past and in future. Everybody, we're gonna talk about everybody. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about everyone, including you. We're going to talk about you and every single person in the world. So, um, now, uh, if you have ever heard that old Kansas song, Carry On Wayward Son, um, the first verse goes, once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I got a little shiny nose here. Let me start that over. If you happen to know, oh, it's still fucking shiny. That's just another shiny video. If you happen to know that old Kansas song, Carry On Wayward Son, and the first two lines, not counting the opening chorus, goes, once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. This illusion. So, yeah, this illusion. Now, this world we are living in it is to some degree an illusion. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself now. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. Now, when you do, they did it once. The guys, Kansas, who when they wrote that song, it happened once. Now, if you take mushrooms, like I do, um, it happens on a regular basis. You get a peek, like you kind of peek over and see, oh, 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 I kind of get it now. So that even a chronically depressed person who hates life, such as myself, get a, when you're on a big enough mushroom trip and you get to peek over at the ledge and see what's out there, you're like, okay, I get that life is ultimately beautiful. Um, I hate it most of the time, but I realize that it is ultimately a beautiful thing despite how I feel about it in a day-to-day moment. Um, so, I want to tell you something that the mushrooms told me one trip I had rather recently. Was it 2 trips ago? Last trip or the trip before? I think it was 2 trips ago. And I want to tell you that what I'm going to tell you is true, and the reason I know it's true is because the mushrooms told me. This isn't just, now I make up shit and I can tell you shit that's in my head and a lot of it is bullshit, but this isn't. What I'm going to tell you is not bullshit. It is true, and I know it's true because the mushrooms told me. And that's what you have to go on as well, that the mushrooms told me. Now, you can also have your own mushroom trip and see if they tell you the same thing. And I recommend that you do it with a lot of precaution and, go to my brother's channel, the Tripping Channel, to learn the best way to do mushrooms, the safest way to do them. But I mean, we're a family of trippers. But I'm going to tell you what they told me. So, here we go. Now, I don't have all of the answers to life, but I got some of them because of what the mushrooms told me. And I am going to share that with you. Well, one of the things I've learned is that we are here to help each other. I don't know what the larger purpose is, but I know that one purpose that we are here for is to learn to help each other. And we're not going to get very far until we really learn that. Well, we've gotten this far as we've gotten pretty far, you know, as far as advances in technology and things like that. And you know, for the most part, we don't kill each other every day. That's changing very rapidly in America. We're killing each other a lot in the United States. But what was my point? We're here to help each other, and you should help another human being or any living creature whenever the opportunity presents itself and you're able to. If the opportunity to help another living creature presents itself and you're able to help that other living creature, you should do so. You should help. We're here to help each other. Now, the way things are going now, it seems like we're just trying to make things as hard for each other as possible. And it's very counterproductive. It's very counter the way of life. Making things hard for each other, like the gridlock that in our political system, for instance, it's just wrong. It's just wrong that we're not working together. That whether you're left wing or right wing, we should be working together. And we used to. It used to not matter whether you were on the left or the right, because we kept each other in balance, and in our country and in America, and we knew that we were helping each other, and that's gone now, and that's a big loss. And I advise strongly that we get it back, because we're just going nowhere until we do. I mean, we're not going nowhere. We're going somewhere, and it's horrible. So, and the world doesn't have to be as fucked up as it is. And I'm hoping that what I'm going to tell you is going to help you understand how to unfuck it to a large degree, how to do your part to unfuck it. And the basic thing to unfucking the world is to help each other, no matter who the person is, even if you don't like the person. If it doesn't matter, you gotta help. Now I'll explain why this is important now. So Jimmy Cliff has a song that goes, "We all are one, we are the same person, body-o, body-o, body-o." And this is true. We are all the same person. And I'm going to explain how that's true in a way that I think will be easy to understand. Maybe not at first, but I think you'll grasp it, because I'm going to make it as clear and as simple as possible. If you hear that dog, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. He's not going to shut up. You're fucking up my video. Didn't help matters any. Go on. Another one. Okay, one more. Okay, let's have another. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, now just 2 in a row this time. That's just, okay, that's good. All right. If you're quite finished, I think he's barking at me now. Well, listen, I'm not going to stop talking, so you have to stop barking. Seems to have listened. All right. Now, where were we? We're just about to get into the meat of this, and here we go. Don't make me close the window. It's going to get so damn hot. Well, it's going to get hot, baby. Now it's going to get hot. Hot. Well, not like that. It's going to get hot like I'm going to be sweating. Fortunately, I'm wearing seersucker. Okay. Now the dog can't hear me, so it's not barking anymore. Fucking bitch. Perhaps literally. All right. We all are one. We are the same person. Now, how is this true? How is it that we go through life as separate individuals and we see each other and we like some people and we don't like other people and some people piss us off and some people make us feel good and blah, 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 blah. And we're all separate, yet we are all the same person. How does that work? I'm going to explain it to you. Dog will shut the fuck up. So, well, we're also that dog barking because we're not only the same person, but we're every living thing. And I'm going to explain it to you. Now, I'm going to explain it in a way that's easy to understand, but it's not entirely accurate the way I'm going to explain it. But I'm going to explain it a little inaccurately just because it's easier to understand that way. And then we will go back and adjust it to something, to what is accurate. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So it's like this. We wonder what happens when we die. And, well, we don't know. We're not going to find out until it happens. But, when we die, it is only our body that dies. And the spirit, the thing that makes us, more than just our bodies. We have our thoughts and our feelings and all of that now, and it's contained within our bodies, but that'll keep going. Who we are will continue. Our body will die, yes, and it's sad, and you have to do a letting go process and a grieving process with each person who's close to you that dies. But they're not gone. Only the body is gone. We're still here. And what happens is, now this is the inaccurate explanation, but it's easy to understand that way. We get, you might say, reincarnated, but it's not like we get reincarnated as one just one, person. We go through life and get rein, we reincarnate. What's the best way to say this? It's like it's like uh, it's like we're going to experience every single life on Earth, every single person who exists, not to mention every animal, every insect. Uh, and I probably includes plants too. I'm sure it does. Um, we will experience life as every other person. So right now, you're experiencing life as who you are. But every single person that you see or can think of, you're going to live that person's life as well. So think of it as like when you die and you say, okay, I just lived, like in my instance, I just lived my life as that topping dude. And now who am I going to be next? And I'm we're going to cover every person. We're each going to live every other person's life. So let's say, oh, well, I would love to be Beyonce and see what it's like to be a phenomenally successful and talented black woman. And so I'll, let's say but it'll be you too. We'll have every single one of us will have a turn as Beyonce. Every single one of us will have a turn as that topping dude. Every single one of us will have a turn as whoever you are. Anyone you can think of, your parents. You're going to go through life again as your mother. You're going to go through life again as your father. If you have had children, you're going to go through life again as your son or as your daughter. And if you have more than one of them, each one of them. And who are your best friends? Well, you're going to live your life as that person too. And it's not just the people who exist now, but it's the people who always existed or who existed in the past. So we're going to go through as the cavemen. You're going to be a caveman. You're going to be a caveman's wife. So, by the way, you're going to be whoever your enemy is. You're going to go through life as your enemy as well. So it doesn't matter who you are. Now, I'm very concerned about the slave industry in Thailand with the shrimp industry in particular. I'm very concerned with the concentration camp victims in North Korea. And, you're going to live life as every single slave trade victim in the shrimp industry in Thailand, as well as the people, as well as each person doing the actual oppression. And you're going to live each life as the concentration camp victim in North Korea, as well as the oppressors, as well as Kim Jong-un himself, where you're going to have a turn and know what it's like to be him. For that matter, you're going to have a turn as Donald Trump, and you're going to know exactly what it is like to be him. And you know how our parties hate each other, how the left hates the right and the right hates the left. Well, guess what? If you're a left-wing person, you're going to go through life as all of the right-wing people that you so detest. And if you're a right-wing person, you're going to go through life as all of the left-wing people that you so detest right now. And it goes for the past as well. Like, not just the cavemen, but famous people like, let's take a biggie, Jesus. We're all going to live our life. Each one of us is going to be Jesus, and each one of us is going to be Mohammed. Each one of us is going to be Buddha, as well as the people who followed them, as well as the people who didn't. Whoever you can think of. So now, and it goes for animals too. So if when you go to the zoo and see these caged animals, you're going to live that life as a caged animal. You're also going to live life as free wild animals that never got caged. You're going to have every single experience. Every single one of us is going to live every other single person's life, creature's life. Like a swarm of bees, we're going to live as each bee. If you look at ants, you're going to be the ant. And if you're a boy, you probably tortured animals when you were a young boy. I did. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. And I mean, for example, I remember this really haunted me. But do you know what granddaddy longlegs are? They're daddy longlegs. They're those spiders that have a little center, and then they have 8 legs, and they're harmless. But especially because they're harmless. Well, anyway, one day when I was probably around 10 years old or so, I pulled the leg off of each. I pulled the leg off. I pulled each leg one at a time, all 8 legs, until there was nothing left of the spider. All of his legs had been pulled off, and all he had was the little center. And I didn't really feel good about it while I was doing it, but it was like I just did it. I was a 10-year-old boy, and we do stupid things like that and mean, cruel things like that. Well, here's the thing. I'm also going to be that spider, and I am going to know what it was like for 10-year-old me to pull each of my legs off and leave me with nothing, leave me totally immobile with just that center piece. My doing that haunted me, to tell you the truth. It was not something I was gleeful about. I'm still thinking about it to this day, how cruel that was of me to do it. But guess what? I'm going to get to know how it feels to be that spider. So if you hate someone so much that you go up to them and you punch them in the face, well, you're also going to live that person's life, and you're going to be punched in the face by your other self. Now, does this sound weird? Does this sound fantastic? I'm telling you this is true. This is true because the mushrooms told me. They told me personally that this is how it works, and they don't lie. I don't know, maybe they do lie. Maybe this is all bullshit. But even if it's bullshit, I want you to listen to what I'm saying, because even if everything I'm saying is wrong, it's a good way to live life as if it were true. Because you're going to be every person you meet. Whatever you do or don't do, you're going to feel that effect on the other side. Open the window again. The dog stops barking. You can hear the outside better now. Like that's an advantage. Okay. So, so this is one of the reasons we want to help each other, because every person that you help, you're actually helping yourself. And in the same way, every person that you fight, you're fighting yourself because you are that person. You are me, I am you, I'm every stranger. If you go to New York, you're going to live every single life that you see there. If you go to a rural farm, you're going to live every single life that you see there, including the pigs and horses. Now, what happens is we have an ego. Now, we hear a lot about egos, and, someone has an oversized ego. But what our ego does is it keeps us separate as individuals. So, and that's largely its function and its purpose is to keep us separate in the pragmatic world, in the everyday world where we go out, we have our jobs or whatever we do, or in the pragmatic everyday world, we're just who we are right now. We're not everybody else, but in the spiritual realm, we are. And what happens when you take mushrooms? Now, you don't have to take mushrooms to do it. I've done workshops where I've achieved this the same way that the same results that mushrooms give, but mushrooms are just a shortcut. If you do transcendental meditation, that's one way you can do it without taking a drug. It's a lot more work, but anyway. But the point is, once you what am I trying to say? There's a point, if you take enough mushrooms, typically the amount is 12 grams. I'm not recommending that you do this because that's a huge amount and it would be terrifying unless you did it on ecstasy. But it would be too terrifying for most people without ecstasy. But if you did it on ecstasy or not, you took 12 grams, what happens is your ego dissolves and you see beyond this illusion. You rise above the noise and confusion and you get a glimpse beyond this illusion. And when you get that glimpse beyond the illusion, that's when, and your ego's gone and it's not separating us anymore. And that's when you realize we're all one. We all are one. We are the same person. Okay, so I explained it in terms of taking turns. Like we die and we say, oh, who am I going to be this time? Why don't I be, I want to be Billie Holiday this time. Or I want to be my best friend. But it's not really that you're going to take turns. That's just a way of looking at it. The thing is, it's happening all at the same time. It's not like it's not like life happens and then you go through it again and say, let's do this, and then do the next person. And then that, and then do it. Kind of, but it's really, it's happening all at the same time. That's the more accurate. It's just easier to understand if you say, okay, I've died. Now let me be the filmmaker Werner Herzog, or now let me be a very depressed person who commits suicide at a very early age. It's not that you want to have that experience. I mean, who wants to be a concentration camp victim? Nobody does. But people are. People become that. And that's why we got to help each other out of the ruts that we get in. We can't do it by ourselves. Now we a lot of us, including myself, try to do it, everything by yourself, and think that this is great. I can do the whole thing by myself. But it's always better when you have help. So when you're helping another person, you are actually helping yourself, because you are that person and you will experience life as that person. And the thing is that our egos are making us think that we're just who we are, that we're this individual, but it's an illusion. And when the ego dissolves, you realize that, oh, we are all, we're one person. We're one unit functioning together. And we're learning. Our egos separate us because we have to learn lessons. And the most important lesson is to help each other. Probably, might say the most important lesson is to love each other. And that's true. Okay, but that is true. But helping each other is an easier way to start. It may be very hard to come to the concept of loving every person. It may be hard to come to the concept of loving every person you meet, including your sworn enemies, including people you hate. And so, all of us who detest Donald Trump, we really should learn to love him, because he really is just he really is just a helpless child who lost his way because he didn't get love from his parents. I mean, that's pretty obvious when you look at him. So when we hear things like God helps those who help themselves, that's really quite literal. If you're helping someone, then you are helping yourself. So God helps those who help themselves. And let's see, there's all kinds of little, I don't know, epiphanies you might have when you realize, like, what's another one? Well, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a biggie. Because, why? Because you want to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because you are the person being done unto, and you're doing unto yourself. So if you think of it that way, even if you think this is bullshit and not true, and that's fine, because you might be right. I might say, I am insane. I'm mentally ill, and these could be the rantings of a mentally ill person. But the mushrooms told me, if it were just me, I'd say, yeah, don't. It's questionable at best. But the mushrooms told me. Therefore, it's true. Take mushrooms yourself and see what they tell you, if you don't believe me. But anyway, but even if you don't believe it, if you live your life as if it were true, it will change your life immediately. As soon as the mushrooms told me and I realized that, it changed my entire outlook, and it changed my entire relationship with every single person I meet. Because now I, I say hello to more people. I used to just say, but now I'm like, oh, hello. And no matter who they are, uh, it is a good rule to treat every single person that you meet with kindness and respect, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like. So if you see like a burned out homeless person, um, you need to treat that person with kindness and respect, the exact same kindness and respect that you would treat anyone else, that you would treat your best friend or someone in your family. Um, and, you know, what if you're a lefty, what if you did meet Donald Trump, this guy you hate so much? You should still treat him with kindness and respect if you are someone who ever bumps into him, because you're him too. You're going to live life as him. You're going to also be Ivanka, and you're going to be Jared. You're going to be the whole clan. You're going to be Barron, and you're going to be the people who serve them. You're going to be the people who got stiffed by them. I don't mean to make this all about them, but that's just an example, because this is an obvious example. But also, you know, this Islamic thing about being killed if you show a picture of Allah. Well, now I'm not going to show a picture of Allah, because what I'm going to say is that every single picture that has ever been taken of someone is a picture of Allah, because we all are that person. We're everyone, every single one. So yeah, you're going to be Jesus, you're going to be Gandhi, you're going to be, you're going to be everyone, big and small, great life or bad life, rich or poor. We're going to experience it all. So anyway, I hope that you don't decide to kill me because I said that every picture that has ever been taken is a picture of Allah. My point is that we're all everyone. So if I compare myself to Jesus, which is a pretty audacious thing to do, but it's like, I don't mean me. I mean me and you. We're all him, and everyone else. Pontius Pilate, him too. Mary Magdalene, her too. The whole cast of characters. And it's in any way, and in the future as well. And guess what? If there are, if aliens invade us someday, well, you know, we're going to be the aliens who invade us as well. So what we need to do is learn to help each other, help each other, because we are the same person. If we're fighting each other, we're fighting ourselves. But if we're loving each other, we're loving ourselves. This is what I need to tell you, because it's what the mushrooms told me. And the mushrooms are correct. They are accurate. They don't lie too often. Anyway, it's true. I'm telling you it's true because the mushrooms told me. All right? You get it? Get it? It's true. So, I recommend you take this information and think about it. And when you go out, and if you are mean, if you're mean to someone, you're going to experience what it's like to be for you to be mean to yourself. There are a lot of additional thoughts that aren't all coming to my mind right now, but that is the basic information. Use it. Let it change your life. When you adopt this attitude, whether you believe that it's real or not, just adopt the attitude that it's real, and it'll change your life. It changed mine. It'll change yours too, and it'll change the world. Because if everyone got that message, if everyone gets this message, and it's like, oh, yeah, we should help each other, the world's going to be better immediately, and we can do that. And by the way, this gridlock in Washington, we can ungridlock it like that. We can just decide, all right, enough of that bullshit. Let's start helping each other and working together instead of fighting each other and just trying to fuck up the other person for what reason? You're not if you're fucking it up for the other person, you're fucking it up for yourself. Oh, so by the way, if you're a racist, if you hate black people, you're gonna live your life as a black person yourself. If you hate transsexuals, you're in for a big surprise when you live life as a transsexual. You're going to live life. If you see someone you know that you don't like, and you don't like them because of the color of their skin or because of their sexual orientation or whatever the reason is, maybe think again. Think again, because now you know that you're going to live that life. You're going to experience that life. And you shall feel much differently on the other side as you right now are sitting in judgment. Okay? That's why you shouldn't be racist, because if you don't like black people, well, you're going to be a black person. If you don't like Asians, you're going to be an Asian person. If you don't like Middle Easterns, you're going to be a Middle Eastern person. If you don't like right-wing people, you're going to be a right-wing person. If you don't like left-wing people, it's like, but so get over this, like, not liking them. You can continue not liking. I mean, dislike and hate is part of the human experience and shouldn't be dismissed or ignored, but it doesn't mean that you can't help the people that you don't like. It doesn't mean that you can't help the people you hate. You can help the people you hate, because if whoever you hate, you're hating yourself. You are hating yourself. Because you are that person. You are that person you hate. You're going to go through their experience. Every single one of us. And this phrase, there but for the grace of God go I always hated that phrase, because it's like, oh, well, there before the grace of God, well, what about the grace of God for that poor asshole? What's so graceful about God if it's just you and not him? There but for the grace of God go you? Yeah, you're gonna go. While someone else has the grace of God to not be you. That's how it works. That's how life spiritually works. Matching told me. How do I know? Matching told me. I didn't make this shit up. The mushrooms told me. Now, I may expound on other things, and it may be my own mind that says a lot of bullshitty things, but that essential part is true. The mushroom, that didn't come from that topping dude. That came from the mushrooms. They told me. They said, hey, that topping dude, come here. It didn't happen quite like that, but it may as well have. Well, there you are. Please take this information and please let it change your life. It can. It changed mine. It changed mine instantaneously. I started, it changed it immediately. For the better. I have a much better relationship with the world now than I did before I realized this, before the mushrooms told me this. So, it's a good way. It's a very important lesson that we all have to learn. And it's, the goal here is world peace. The goal here is to unify ourselves instead of making ourselves separate and different and help each other. We're here to fucking help each other, not to make things more difficult for each other. Stop making things more fucking difficult for each other. It's stupid and it's wrong. Help each other. Help each other. Listen to me. Listen to the mushrooms. You're being stupid if you're purposely making things difficult for another person. You're making it difficult for yourself. Not to mention all of us, because we all are the same person. All right? You didn't expect me to get mad like that, did you? I didn't. Just getting mad when I realize how stupid everyone is, including myself. I'm not exempt from this. I'm human. I'm human. Okay? Much too human, as a matter of fact. All right. That's enough. That's enough for now. Talk to you later. Bye. Help someone at every opportunity. Every single opportunity. If you can. If you're able to. You can't help everyone. You can't help every single person. Help as much as you can. Help when you can. Don't burn yourself out trying to help everyone and everything. You're going to burn yourself out. So you can't help everyone. But do help when you can. If the opportunity to help is there, take it. All right.